When the all-new Mitsubishi Triton was launched here in the Philippines last year, one of the major questions in most people's minds was, where's the Triton Athlete 4x2? You see, we have the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4, and then it makes a big jump towards this Triton GLS 4x2 right here. So to answer that question, well, I borrowed the Mitsubishi Triton GLS 4x2 for an entire week just to see if we still need a Triton Athlete 4x2 here in the Philippines. Let's do this. When you take a look at the local Triton lineup, you'll notice that there is a big price gap between the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4 and this Triton GLS 4x2. You see, at 1,582,000 Philippine pesos, the Triton GLS is over 300,000 Philippine pesos less than the Triton Athlete 4x4, but it is still well equipped in terms of features, safety, and performance. Mitsubishi Philippines seems to have given the Triton GLS 4x2 all the necessary bits that most pickup truck drivers need, so it begs the question, do we even need a Triton Athlete 4x2? And an even more important question, why would you even spend more money on the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4? Let's find out. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. Well, let's answer the second question first. Yes, the Triton Athlete 4x4 has its place in the local Mitsubishi lineup. You see, it has its Super Select 4-wheel drive system, which of course off-road enthusiasts will need. And then you have the more powerful 2-stage turbo diesel engine, which keeps it at pace with the other top-spec midsize pickup trucks in its category. So yes, if you need the 4-wheel drive system, and if you want to have the more powerful diesel engine to appease your ego, then spending more money for the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4 is justified in those cases. But here's the deal. The single turbo that's found in this Triton GLS is actually more than enough. You see, we have a 2.4-liter turbo diesel here that puts out 180 horsepower and 430 Newton-meters of torque. Now, I took this Triton GLS out for a long drive from Makati to Alaminos, Laguna, and I never had a single instance where I was wanting for more power. You see, this Triton GLS felt really light on its feet, and it also accelerates really well. See? Oh, yes. You know, in Tagalog, hindi ka mabibitin. Hindi ka talaga mabibitin. You see, it's the same experience that I've had with the previous generation Strada, where, yeah, the actual drive performance is much better than what the brochure spec sheet will suggest. Now, that's why I highly recommend to all of you guys to go out and test drive this Mitsubishi Triton GLS to see for yourself what kind of driving performance it can deliver, because dude, it's going to surprise you in a good way. Now, adding to that surprise is the overall refinement of the drive itself. You see, we have an all-new turbo diesel engine here, which at first I didn't really believe when I unboxed the Triton GLS. But yes, after driving it for nearly a week, well, I do believe that we have an all-new turbo diesel engine here. See, the reason why I didn't believe that is, well, we have nearly the same amount of power as before, but after driving it for a week, yeah, I could tell you that this new turbo diesel engine is more refined, and it's even quieter than the previous generation Strada. Now, you could still hear it when you're accelerating. You could hear the turbo diesel engine. See, you can accelerate. See? There. You could hear it, and you know that you're driving a diesel-fed midsize pickup truck, but it is a tad bit more refined, you know, lesser vibrations, and yes, it's a bit quieter than the other midsize pickup trucks in the category. Now, I'd also like to point out that the steering feel of this Triton GLS is the Goldilocks of trucks, because it's not as heavy as the other midsize pickup trucks in the category, but it's not as overboosted as the Ford Ranger. Now, when you check it, you'll see that the steering system of this Triton GLS is a hydraulic power assist system, which is, well, tried and true. It's already tried and tested, and it's also more affordable to maintain than, let's say, an electric power assist system. Now, there are some people out there who will say that this new front fascia design of the Triton looks a little bit weird. Some will even go as far as say that it's on the ugly side. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. After living for nearly a week with the Triton GLS 4x2 here, all I can say is that this mid-size truck, yes, it blends perfectly well despite having a new front fascia design. You see, I took this Triton GLS 4x2 out to Alaminos, Laguna, or is that Quezon? I mean, when I went there it says Laguna, but anyway, I took it down to Alaminos, down south, and everywhere I go in that area, I did not get any weird stares from people. I mean, despite having this large rectangular dynamic shield front grille here, as well as the sharp-looking LED DRLs and LED headlight units, this front fascia, my friends, is still very much identifiable as a Mitsubishi. I mean, well, it helps that we have a Mitsubishi name right here on the front grille, plus of course the triple diamond logo right there. But guys, it still looks like it's a design that belongs to a Mitsubishi pickup truck. Now, I guess another big factor there is the fact that the dynamic shield front grille here is painted in a gloss black rather than body paint. And yes, this Triton GLS tester car that I have here is painted in an unassuming silver paint, which also helps it to blend in with the crowd. Now, one of the things that I appreciate about the all-new Triton GLS is its overall dimensions. You see, it's a tad bit bigger than the previous gen Strada, but it's still not as big and as bulky feeling as the other mid-size pickup trucks in its category. Now, that means that this Triton GLS is actually easier to drive around narrow provincial roads, and it's also easier to park in tight parking spaces. You see, friends, bigger is not always better. And during my week-long drive with this Triton GLS here, I found that it's actually the ideal size for navigating our local Philippine roads and our Philippine setting. Now, don't get me wrong though. I'm not saying that this, my friends, is a small truck. No, sorry, it's not small. This is still a tall, macho, and badass mid-size pickup truck, and it will not back down or get intimidated by road bullies out there. Ah, wow! Grabe, ang init, man! Woo! Jay, pare, give me my drink. Give me my drink. Woo! Ang init! Woo! Man! Wait, let me open it. Wow, okay, there you go. Woo! Ah, sarap! It's a good thing that we brought some of our locally juiced drinks here during this shoot because it is hot. It's summer now here in the Philippines, and one of the best ways to beat the summer heat is to have this locally wake me up before you mango fruit juice drink. I mean, wow, this is really good. Sarap, sarap pare. Yeah. Anyway, that's one of the drawbacks about filming during the summertime here in the Philippines. But anyway, another way that you can beat the summer heat here in the country is to have fabric seats in your car rather than leather seats. And that's exactly what we have here in this Triton GLS 4x2. You see, we have some really comfortable fabric seats here, and I've tested them during my long drive, and yes, they are very comfortable, and they will also keep you cool when you're driving around in the summertime here in the Philippines. Now, we also have a fully automatic climate control system here, air conditioning system, and it's very cold, and yes, it's very cold, guys. And yeah, you need that because, well, we don't really have rear AC vents in this Triton GLS, which I'll get to a little bit later on. But yeah, it's good that we have some really cold air conditioning here. Now, as for the infotainment system though, we don't really have the largest infotainment system in the category. This is just at 9 inches. It's a touchscreen infotainment system, but it comes with all of the goodies that you would need. You see, we have wireless Apple CarPlay, we have wired Android Auto, and we also have the image of a 360-degree view camera image, which is super helpful, especially with these mid-size pickup trucks, because yeah, they're kind of long, it's kind of lots of blind spots. So yes, having a 360 cam there is very, very helpful. It's very helpful indeed. Anyway, yes, so other than that, the entire cabin here, it's a standard cabin, Triton cabin here. Although I do have a couple of nitpicks in this cabin. First up, the sun visors. Yeah, so the sun visors here, they don't really adjust. And that shouldn't be an issue if you have window tint, but we don't really have window tint in this press car. So yes, in the summertime here in the Philippines, you get an instant tan with that kind of sun visor. The second nitpick that I have here is, well, we still have a manual handbrake here, right beside our cup holders there. And yes, it would have been more convenient to have an electronic park brake with an auto hold button, but we don't get that here. Now granted, the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4 also gets a manual handbrake, so yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal. Although if you consider it as well, if you want to keep this Triton GLS for a long time, I mean a long time, like a decade, maybe 9 years, 10 years, yeah, having a manual handbrake is actually more advantageous for you because it's more affordable to maintain and more affordable to repair in case it breaks. One aspect of the Triton GLS that I appreciate is the advanced driver assist system. You see, other car makers reserve ADAS for their top-spec 4x4 trims, but this Triton GLS also comes with the ADAS features that you are now seeing on your screen. Now, the good thing about this also is, yeah, it's not as intrusive or as nervous as the other ADAS systems in other car makers, which I like. I appreciate that. You see, I like driving a little bit faster than the others, and I don't really appreciate it when these electronic nannies would interfere with my driving style. However, if you check it, we only get standard cruise control here. We don't have adaptive cruise control. But then again, that's also not available in the top-spec Triton Athlete 4x4, so it's not really a big deal in this case. The fuel economy is also pretty average for the category. I got 10 kilometers per liter in light city drives and as much as 15.6 kilometers per liter on the highway. So yeah, it's not really nothing to write home about. Now I did notice that the brake pedal feel also has a bit of travel before it bites, so yes, it's also best to keep a safe distance to the car in front of you when you're driving on the highway. Now thankfully, we also have forward collision alert here as well as emergency braking, but yeah, during the week I've driven this, I never had a chance to test that out because, well, I am also a safe driver. I drive fast, but I'm also a safe driver. Now, as for the back seat, let's go and check it out. All right. So, the back seat of the Triton GLS is also more comfortable than before. I mean, I was quite surprised that we don't have a bouncy ride here at the back, which is a bit of my experience with the previous gen Strada. See, we still have the same suspension system here. We have a double wishbone front suspension and leaf springs at the back. But somehow, I feel that the Mitsubishi tuned the suspension system of this Triton GLS to be more comfortable, refined, and stable, especially during highway drives. Now, the space here in the second row is also much bigger than before, owing to the larger overall dimensions of this Triton GLS. This is such a nice place to spend time in because, yes, as I said, it's more comfortable. It actually feels like I'm at the second row seats of a midsize SUV, if you know what I mean. However, I am a bit bummed out by the fact that we don't get any rear AC vents here. We don't have the ceiling-mounted AC vents from before. We also don't have center AC vents here in the center area. So yes, especially in this media unit which doesn't have any tint, it could get a little bit warm here in the second row, in the back seat. So the only course of action to solve that is to ask the driver to turn up the air conditioning so that more of those cool air will reach the back. However, for the other amenities though, well, we do have a pair of USB charge ports here, a USB Type-C and Type-A. We also have a 12-volt charging port there, and we have a tiny little center armrest here that comes with a pair of cup holders. When I did my unboxing video of the Triton GLS 4x2, I couldn't tell you back then if this style bar is an optional piece of accessory or if it came standard from the factory. Well, now I can assure you with absolute certainty that this style bar right here, this sports bar, is a standard piece of kit. So you can get that with every purchase of this Triton GLS 4x2. Now, when you look at the rear end design of this Triton GLS, you will see that it also contributes to the familiarity of this midsize pickup truck. The overall design is almost identical to that of the previous gen Strada, except for the redesigned LED taillight units here, and of course the Triton badge right there. Now, if you open the liftgate, you'll see that, see, we don't get an assisted liftgate here. So this is not assisted, guys. So it's a bit heavy, so just be careful when you're opening this. And when you have it open, you'll see that we have the standard bed liner here. We also have the Mitsubishi name right there. And we have a slightly larger truck bed here. And it's also a bit lower to give you easier access to this truck bed. Now, if you're looking for the spare tire of this midsize pickup truck, you'll find that underneath the truck bed, just like any other midsize pickup truck here in the Philippines.
So, given the complete feature set of the Triton GLS 4x2, do we still need a Triton Athlete 4x2 in the local lineup? Well, it depends. If the Triton Athlete 4x2 will have the more powerful 2-stage turbo diesel engine in a 4x2 package, then it may have a place in the lineup. But in most aspects, this Triton GLS 4x2 has proven itself to be highly capable already, and it ticks all of the boxes. So even if Mitsubishi Motors Philippines does not introduce a 4x2 version of the Triton Athlete, fret not, because this Mitsubishi Triton GLS 4x2 may be the only two-wheel drive Triton that you'll ever need. Thanks for watching.